chair of the new Democrat coalition's task force on immigration and border security. So, Congressman, thanks for being with us. And your coalition sent a letter to both Speaker McCarthy and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries calling for meaningful bipartisan action at the border and slamming the bill passed by House Republicans. The letter says an orderly, humane migration process and a secure border can and should go hand in hand. I mean, why, Congressman, is the GOP bill so harmful in your view? And what real changes do you think both sides would agree to?
Well, I don't think the bill that we voted on this past week was a real serious effort to deal with the challenges at the border. It was mostly a messaging bill, mostly played to the Republican base. A serious bill would deal with both border security and with immigration reform and would allow for greater trade with Mexico. In Arizona, of course, Mexico is our number one trading partner. Any serious proposal on dealing with the challenges that we have today, vis-a-vis the border and immigration, will include both. The bill that we saw this past week would eliminate aid, for example, for some of the faith-based and nonprofit organizations that are helping people seek asylum in the United States of America. This would be the exact wrong time to eliminate aid for people that are making that journey seeking asylum. We need to provide more support. In fact, that's one of my big critiques of the administration, is that I don't feel they were fully ready for this moment, because you are going to see increasing numbers. We haven't provided the support for the community-based organizations, the faith-based organizations that are helping people who are seeking asylum in the United States.
So, Congressman, what do you think the administration should have done if they failed to properly prepare for the end of Title 42? And what do you think of the president's immigration bill that one of your colleagues reintroduced this week?
Well, I've spoken to the mayor of Tucson and the mayor of Phoenix. I am the former mayor of Phoenix, so I have a lot of good relationships, good close working relationships with the mayors in Arizona and throughout the country. I've also spoken with some of the nonprofit leaders that are working at the border, and they feel like there's not enough shelter beds, for example. Casalitas, which is the major shelter in Tucson, helping so many of the people seeking asylum, they're already oversubscribed. There's concerns about what are the plans for transportation beyond doing drop-offs at major airports across the desert Southwest. How are we going to better support the people? Do we have enough beds? Do we have enough support for people who are here temporarily before they move on in their journey? What is the overall plan? They feel like there hasn't been a lot of coordination. There hasn't been nearly enough communication as we've come to the end of Title 42. I think it's fair to say there's a lot of frustration among those leaders at the border, both elected officials as well as community-based organizations.
Congressman, before we let you go, I want to ask you about the debt ceiling. The meeting between President Biden and McCarthy, it was postponed, but staff is still continuing to meet and talk this weekend. They're reportedly discussing ways to limit federal spending. How confident do you feel that they will come to an agreement to avoid default? And what would you and your fellow Democrats agree to?
Well, first off, it still bears to be said. It is shocking that there are people in the United States Congress that are willing to risk United States to default on its payments in order to accomplish their policy goals. Are you really willing to threaten default and the catastrophic impacts that would have on the American economy, the massive increase in unemployment, the massive increase in interest rates, what it would do to markets overall, and what it would do for the United States, who is competing with China around the globe right now? Nobody would like America to default on our debt more than China. So it is shocking that we have people that are willing to risk the full faith and credit of the United States to incur these cuts. By the way, cuts to Border Patrol. It is tragically ironic that at the same week that they passed a border bill ostensibly trying to increase border security, they're passing fiscal policy as it relates to the debt limit proposal that would go in the exact opposite direction, that would significantly ratchet back support for border security. So right now I'm nervous. I'm concerned. We should deal with these tough budget issues during the normal budget crisis, but not threaten the United States economy, jobs for people that are watching this. Your job is at risk because of the strategy. It is not the way to govern here in the United States of America.
All right, Congressman Greg Stanton of Arizona, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.